Welcome back to another episode of Cleaning with Mr. OCD. Today I decided to give a little bit of conversation because I just got some crazy news and I needed someone to talk to. So I thought, who is better to talk to other than YouTube? We all have those family members, especially when you get closer and closer to our holidays. You know, those particular family members that you rarely hear from. Well, this particular family member is someone that fits that description. The last time I heard from this particular family member was about 5 years ago, and before that, it was probably a good 20 to 25 years ago. And let me tell you about the events that happened the last time this particular family member stayed with us, and maybe you all can help me on what I should do. They called my mother and talked to my mother and them about, spending the holidays with us, and needed a place to stay. They didn't want to stay at a hotel. They wanted to stay amongst family to get to know and familiarize themselves with this side of the family. Well, my mother didn't have any room, so she called me and my then fiance, now my wife, and talked to my wife about it, and we were completely on board with it. So my mother warned them of the way I clean, so they knew ahead of time. Well, when they arrived, they appeared as if they were the perfect guest. Oh my God, they brought their own air mattress, they brought their own sheets, they brought their own dry towels as well as face towels, washcloth, they brought everything. And they arrived late in the evening. So pretty much when they got in, they wasn't hungry, they wanted to go straight to bed, and I was completely on board with that. They got the air mattress all aired up, and before they went to bed, I had talked to both my cousin and his wife. Now, mind you, this is my cousin. The guy's my cousin through blood, through blood. His wife, of course, through marriage. And they let me know that they know about the way I clean. They knew this ahead of time. So I didn't have to lay out any rules. My mother told them everything. They thought it was kind of strange, but it was either here or at a hotel. Well, the very next morning I woke up and the first person I run into is his wife. She is in my kitchen, and instead of her having clothes on or some pajamas on, she had on a long shirt and panties. Now, the shirt was long, but not long enough to where I could see her butt hanging out the bottom of her. I decided to turn around and just go right back into my room. I felt like my wife would see it and my wife would correct her on it, which my wife did. So I see them later on that day, and I walked in the room that they were sleeping in, and I see a bunch of used tissue, napkins, paper towels, or whatever, all over the floor. And the first thing she did was she come right up to me and said, "Yes, your cousin, he go through a roll of tissue a night, just blowing his nose. Don't worry about it. I will pick it up." I said, "Okay, no problem." So she went ahead and started picking it up right away. Well, I had no more problems out of them until the very last night. Now, they stayed a total of 4 days. 4 days, and they left around 1 o'clock in the morning. The night before, I told them, I said, just turn the knob and everything, and it would lock on its own, and I'll be okay with that. And when I wake up at 5:30 the next morning, the following morning, I would, come in and put the top lock on. They agreed. Now, they did lock the door. They did as I asked, but what they didn't do irritated the hell out of me. They packed up all their clothes. They left the air mattress. They left the dirty sheets. Kind of find out they sleep naked. They slept naked the entire time while they was at my house. And the underwear that they took off while they was asleep accumulated, and it was balled up within the covers. Not to mention the bag full of tissue. Well, I'm assuming she needed the bag, to help her pack as she was leaving. So she emptied out the used tissue all over my floor, didn't put it in the trash can, just all over my floor. And I guess maybe she assumed that she'd get it later, but she never did. When I woke up, the air mattress was gone. Wait a minute, no, hold on. The air mattress was still there. The covers was there. Dirty drawers from him and her was still there. And also all the snot rags, Kleenex tissue, whatnot, all of that was all over my floor. I was irritated, but I cleaned it up. I took the sheets, I threw it away right along with the underwear, threw all that away. I cleaned the air mattress off, the pump and all that stuff. I used bleach, cleaned it all off, whatever, and I kept it. The tissue and everything, I threw all that away. Well, I get a phone call maybe a week later from my cousin asking me if I would wash his underwear as well as hers and mail them down to him. Well, immediately he got upset because I told him I threw all of that away. Well, I was a bad landlord, according to him. Now, these are his words, landlord. And I sat there and told him, well, a landlord gets paid. I got nothing. I got nothing but heartache, grief, and more stuff to clean. Well, they called maybe 15, 20 minutes ago, after I took the trash out. And they asked my wife if they could come back in town and stay with us again. Well, my wife, she don't like telling people no. And I'm assuming that my mother told them to call or ask my wife. Well, my wife have a tendency of also talking on the phone through speakerphone. So I asked immediately, who was she talking to? I heard him in the background, and I heard him say, so did she say that we could stay the night? I immediately came over to her phone, and as soon as I was about to say something, she hung up the phone. My wife, she hung up the phone. So my question is, if you went through all of this, would you allow your family members to come back and stay the night? Now, I'm dead set against it, but my wife wants to play the Good Samaritan. What would you do in a situation like this?